So, hi, welcome to Noise Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with.
I'm Letdown.
There are some questions to say about his upcoming album, Be Okay. So, congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to the announcement so far?
Response has been absolutely incredible. Honestly, like the only thing I can really think about is spending the last 2 years doing it and thinking that, in a few months it's gonna happen, and then it doesn't, and now it finally is. So I'm like somewhere between super excited and super like something, please nothing go wrong. Please come out the day I said it was gonna come out.
Yeah. Oh my God. Fingers crossed.
God damn. So, we chatted for the first time around Ugly, and we've been following you since then. So, you've been working on it even before that? Because then there was those collection of singles that turned into an EP, and now we're into the album rollout. So, you've been working on it. Like, were those EP songs supposed to be on the album?
Not necessarily. So the track listing has been released already. So there are Crying in the Shower, Go to Hell. I think those are the only two from the EP that made it to the record. But the EP was never planned anyway. I was releasing singles while trying to figure out what the proper lane was to build a compilation, which would be my first record out of. Um the EP just happened as just an idea, like in order to bring spotlight back to like a few of my tracks that had gone, below the wayside.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Well, the album is fucking awesome.
Self-marketing tactic. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Hell yeah.
Bingo. Yeah, album is fucking incredible. Catchy
Thank
as
you so
shit.
much.
Ass shakers. Fucking nail on the head.
Ass shaking.
Oh yeah.
The
Ass
whole
shakers,
gamut.
I'm telling you. Yeah.
Well, I love that. I've not heard that yet, but I love that.
Big fan. Big fan. So is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
The cover art was, I really liked the idea of having some sort of new logo. I was running with this like sad face thing for a long time, and I was talking with the designer, and he brought me this like bird logo that I really thought was cool, and I was like, dang, a bird. And that's kind of, not metaphorically me, but in a way I don't know, it's kind of cool. And then my label slapped my face on it, and here we are now.
That's
There you go.
beautiful.
A bird with your face on it.
No, it's a Blake bird apparently. But
I love it. Hell yeah.
meaning behind the single, behind the title, it was just the meaning behind the title is the meaning behind the actual song Be Okay, which was, it's super self-explanatory. It's a deep dive into a faulty tantric relationship, but it's it was the most, I don't know how to say this correctly, it was the song that felt the most like professional. It just had like this vibe on the album that it was kind of like looking down at the rest of the songs, like, yeah, look at me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I figured, let's title it that. I was gonna try to self-title it Letdown, but I don't know, Be Okay seemed on brand for me too, especially with all of what I deal with my mental health and what I talk about in my songs.
Yeah. So you would say, like, obviously that you feel that song is the strongest, but you also feel that song kind of encapsulates, and that idea encapsulates the rest of the songs on the album.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Wonderful.
So can you tell us a little bit about your writing process for the album?
Man, if you've ever, seen a manic person who has no clue what they're doing in the middle of an anxiety attack, that is the entire writing process to this record.
Beautiful.
It not a single moment of it has made any sense. It's been a lot of really fun memories, co-writing with a lot of different producers and artists and friends. The process changes every single time. It's literally like my buddy will send me a voice memo, and it's him humming in his car, and you can barely even hear what he's doing, but I'm like, that's an idea.
Yeah, write
And
that
then
down.
that turns into a guitar part, and then a vocal from another voice memo turns into something. And every day in the studio and every moment you spend writing is constant different approaches. So it's a hard question to answer, because the answer is there's not one.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, I know you've got so many different approaches, and it might even be hard to pin down one or two, but is there an approach that you prefer when it comes time to write, or is it just what the idea calls for is the approach that you take?
It's super situational like that, I would say. It's because the ideas come from moments where we're not trying to write. Every time I sit down and try and write, I can't write anything. Like, I have to be playing video games or watching TV or driving, and then I'm like, oh, there's the fucking song.
Yeah.
I've never successfully sat down and said I'm going to write a song and have gotten anything out of it. And I envy the people that do it, like a 9 to 5 like that, and are successful. But Yeah, I don't really know.
Yeah. That's completely fair. But so earlier you mentioned you had a couple co-writing sessions for this album?
Yeah, a lot of co-writing sessions. I wrote Carlo Colasaco co-wrote almost every song with me, and he's a
Hmm.
well-known producer here in Nashville. The artist Youth Year co-wrote half the songs with me.
Hmm.
Um, I worked with David Hodges. I
There you
worked
go.
with David
Sure.
Hodges on one of the tracks. He's he Evanescence. He wrote "Bring Me to Life" and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, it's just been quite a bit of people. One of my best friends, Ryan Vera, we wrote a couple songs together. I mean, I don't think there was any songs on this record that I wrote completely by myself.
Yeah. Okay, so with those co-writing sessions, because you said when you sit down, well, it's the opposite. You can't sit down and say, I'm gonna write a song. So how do you approach those writing sessions then? Do you already come with
Well,
like
so
a
those
fully
writing
fleshed out
sessions
idea?
come out of almost fleshed out ideas. It's
Okay.
always another one of my friends, someone else I write with texting
Mm,
me like a voice memo or like half a produced song and being like, I have these ideas. How
yeah.
can we do it? So when you have an idea first or you have some sort of a rough map already, it's
Mm,
so easy to sit down and like in a room with your friends and tackle the song and build it.
Yeah.
yeah.
I guess, I should have clarified what I was referring to was just sitting down with nothing
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
something coming from nothing. That is where I nope, not happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Cool. I just want to clarify and see what that silly process was like. That makes complete sense.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just a bunch of friends texting each other ideas and seeing what vibes with somebody.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's
Makes sense.
completely fair. Fuck with it. So what song off the album took longest to write, and which one is your personal favorite?
The song on the record that took the longest to write.
Hmm.
Hang on, I'm pulling up the record.
No shame in that.
No shame.
I'm gonna have to definitely say I have a song called Me, Myself, and I on there that probably
Mm.
took the absolute longest because I wrote that one with my buddy Ryan Vera, who's an incredibly talented artist. And we probably had no less than 15 first and second verses and bridges for it before it
Mm.
became this. And I think we wrote that song 2 full years ago and we didn't finish it until
Oof.
like 6 months ago.
Damn.
So it wasn't like we were working on it the entire time. There
Mhm.
was months,
Yeah.
skips of
Yeah.
not touching it, but it was just one of those songs where we just kept calling each other going, dude, there's something to it.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
think, I think. And then we kept trying it until we finally found something that we loved and lived with.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Were you,
Gotcha.
were you ever able to pinpoint that thing about that song that made you guys keep coming back to it?
Yeah, it was the chorus. We just
Yeah.
liked the chorus. We liked what it meant and stood for. We liked it, like the honesty that's in the song, and we just thought that something could work. So
Mhm.
did it till we did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Damn
yeah.
right. And then your personal favorite.
My personal favorite,
Hmm.
my personal favorite song on the record is probably. I'm gonna have to go with Imposter Syndrome
Hmm.
because I resonate more with that one than anything. I mean, just point blank, the title of it.
Yeah.
I think it's something that a lot of people just deal with and don't really think of. I don't really like to think of imposter syndrome as like an actual thing other than me just needing to get over and accept when I succeed and accept when I fail.
Hmm.
But yeah, I like that one a lot. It's got old school Letdown vibes to it. Like it's really like cinematic and more like a little more theatrical, like the way I started writing music. So I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Wonderful.
Wow.
And just out of curiosity, how long have you had that song, Imposter Syndrome, written?
That's actually one of the newer ones.
Okay.
That one maybe 6 or 7 months.
Hmm. Okay. So you haven't been sitting on it for 2 years, thankfully.
No, I haven't had enough time to completely rip it to pieces.
Okay, good.
There you go. That's good.
Good,
That's
good,
good.
good. Yeah.
Trust me, that happens though. I've been listening to the record, which I like was so like, this is the best record ever. I love it. This is so me. And then like literally this week I would listen to it. I'm like, oh, I could have done no, but damn it.
Nah,
It's
you
turned
gotta
in.
leave
It's
that
turned
shit
in,
alone.
Damn it.
It's turned in. That's it. That's
too
it.
late.
Hold
Yeah.
I know. I
on.
literally called my A&R like a couple weeks ago, and I was just like, is it really too late to switch songs out?
No, I know they just hung up.
Yeah, he just goes, Blake, go to bed.
Yeah.
I mean, age
It's
of
3 a.m.
age of streaming. If you got a tweak, you got to make to a song. Like you technically could.
Yeah.
Oh, I've done it before. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
We've snuck in the back door and changed a couple things here and there.
Yeah,
I mean, why
I feel
not?
like
Why
most artists have at this point. No shame.
Hmm.
Well, no one's as critical as me, I suppose.
Yeah, there you go.
Fair.
So how'd the track list for the album come about? Did you write the opener be the opener, closer be a closer, shuffle around and see what fits? What was that process like?
I made 4 or 5 configurations of it
Hmm.
and just listened to it over and over until it felt right. The way that the listing ended up kind of encapsulates how we would do a set list live.
Mhm.
And so I think that's why I gravitated towards it. It just felt more natural to me as how I would plan to do it in front of people.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So it's pretty simple. That's just how it came to be.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
The live set list idea is a fair enough way to go about it.
It's an old school move, but there's no fucking
Exactly.
rules here.
No,
Exactly.
zero.
Caution of the wind.
Yeah.
Hmm. So, would you be able to tell us where your headspace is at while you're creating this record? I know you said it was over the course of 2 years, but if you're able to kind of pinpoint the general feeling, vibe.
Most of the time, it was hopeful excitement, I would say.
Oh, that's cool.
It's my first record. It meant a lot to me, but also I was meeting all these new people and working with people that I was fans of and meeting like crazy producers and crazy writers that I might not have heard of, but ended up developing actual friendships and relationships with, where it didn't feel like a record label was forcing me to be in a room to write something to make some money. It felt like
Mhm.
I was making all these choices on my own and was really more so just hanging out with my friends. And it's really cool when at the end of the day you're all like dancing around a control room of a studio because you fell in love with what you created together.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Now, obviously first record, but not the first release by any stretch of the word. But with it being your first album and that extra emphasis on it, are you feeling any sort of anxiety going into releasing it, or are you feeling confident? I know you mentioned you thought it was your best work, and now you're starting to feel like that second guessing this week.
Well, the second guessing isn't necessarily, I would attribute it more to what I've been writing since I turned the record in.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Because I feel like the contrast is I turned this record in and I put so much into it and I learned a lot that I now am applying to new stuff.
Mm.
And it's also just like you get a shiny new toy. I have a new song that I haven't run into the dirt, so I'm just like, this is better than anything.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
But no, I'm not anxious at all. I'm like, fuck, like I wish I could have put this out a year and a half ago.
That's
I'm really
perfect, yeah.
excited for it to be out. One, because I think a lot of people are gonna really like it and vibe with it and like the messages. But two, I'm just really excited to do what's next.
Hmm.
I'm kind of
Right.
already starting to look back on it, which I know isn't really the right move, but
Typically, that is what we hear if someone's been sitting on a piece of work for, 2 or more years. It's kind of like it's not out yet, but I'm kind of over it. So I feel like that's completely normal.
right, time to tour it for 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then start thinking about the next one.
Yeah.
So how do you recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should you do in the car with friends, in the dark with headphones on? Is work at album, party album? What do you personally recommend?
This is an AirPods alone in your house vibe.
Okay.
This is a stop what
Specifically
you're
AirPods?
doing and pay attention. Well, no, headphones,
Okay, I
whatever.
was gonna say, fuck, I listen to this so wrong.
I listen to it in AirPods. That's just what I have. But
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah, I think this is a let it sink in first and then go enjoy it, listen
Yeah.
to it. It's a lot deeper than it sounds.
Yeah. Damn right.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
yeah. So this one should be super, super quick. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe this album from your listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
Dramatic,
Mhm.
happy, depressing.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nailed it.
And in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the album?
Optimism.
Oh,
It's a little bit of a roller coaster. Have some optimism.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I
Dig it.
got that vibe from the record, because there's a song like "Crying in the Shower," and then by the end of it, I was feeling like that optimism, a little bit of uplifting.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it ends on a good note.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely. Sure. And are you able to touch on any particularly challenging or standout moments from the creation of this album, positive or negative?
I would say a positive note,
Mhm.
figuring out how to produce it, because I produce all my own music and
Mhm.
so does half the co-writers I was writing with. And I feel like we were constantly, I think that's what made it as good as it is to me, is that we were all constantly at like this like healthy, happy battle with each other to see how good we could make it, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Separately, once we've already written it.
Mhm.
And it was a challenge because at the end of the day, every song had 4 versions and we loved all of them the exact same. And it was just
Yeah.
like we had to make choices that weren't based off of our own egos. And I think that was not only a growing experience, but a really fun one.
Yeah. So, as you mentioned earlier, and now with this, how were you able to kind of lock in whatever versions that you liked the most? I mean, you were sitting on it for 2 years, so you're able to kind of nitpick every single song over the course of those 2 years. When did you know when to stop, I guess?
Um, when people stopped giving me criticism, pretty much, when people stopped making constructive criticism and people started going into the like minute details, is
Yeah.
when I was like, all right, now we're just picking apart how loud a guitar part is. Like, this
Yeah, it's
isn't
just
about the.
bullshit.
Once people started critiquing the mix, is when you
Mhm.
realize no one cares that the song's written. It doesn't need to be changed. Everyone now
Yeah.
just wants the sound to be different.
Mhm.
Yeah, which
So
is,
that's pretty
again,
much the
yeah.
point, which is like it stares you in the face. You're like, okay, no one, we're done with this.
Yeah. It's
Gotcha.
good. Yeah, it's
Makes
a good
sense.
call. Mhm.
And for the last couple questions, going to shift completely away from music. So, if you could be one animal for the rest of your life, what animal would you be and why?
I would be my dog
Yeah.
because I don't know if you guys have seen her on the internet, but she sighs way too much for a thing with no fucking problems.
Yeah. Working long
She sleeps
shifts,
17 hours a day. I saw a meme that was like my dog who has no bills, who is in
Mhm.
fact herself a
Mhm.
bill,
Yeah.
has sighed 3 times today, and I just want to know what I can do.
Exactly. Like how can I alleviate that stress that you're just coping with right now?
Yeah,
Ugh.
I would be my dog or any dog, really. I love dogs.
Yeah.
Hell
Damn
yeah.
right. Fucking love dogs too. And if you could have lunch with any celebrity or artist, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Um, I would have lunch with Elvis
Okay.
because every time I hear audio clips of him talking, it triggers this part of my brain that like I it's like a roll on the floor laughing moment. I'm like wheezing laughing when I heard the way he talked, which I
Yeah.
got was like his gimmick, but holy Christ, that's it's funny as fuck. I would just need it. I feel like it would like recharge my battery for the year just to just get a good laugh like that.
Yeah. That
That
would be a full like lunch date of him
And
just
I heard that he
talking.
got really angry when people laughed at him too, so that would make me laugh even harder. So
Oh,
that's the best answer, because normally it's like whatever musical heroes an artist has that we want to sit down with. You're just like Elvis because he talks funny, and I think it's facts funny.
he talks fucking funny. Well, he did talk funny. You know, it is what it is, man. You know, life can be really funny if you stop taking it so fucking seriously.
True
you're
that.
goddamn right.
True
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
And for this last question, boom, you're on a desert island. You can bring one movie, one album, and one person. Who and what are you bringing?
What movie? I'd bring Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story,
Mhm.
because that's the funniest movie ever made, and it's about the music industry.
Mhm.
Um, record album, The Black Parade by MCR.
Mhm.
You're goddamn right.
I mean, front to back, I can't poke a hole in it. If we exclude Blood, I mean, we don't talk about that one.
Hey,
Um,
so what do you mean by that? Let's talk about that actually.
we don't talk about that's like the one who must not be named.
That's my
Um,
baby, bro. I fucking love Blood.
I'm so happy for you.
No! Leave her alone. Leave her alone. Oh my god.
Hey, it doesn't
Oh,
stop me from singing it. Every time I tell somebody I don't like that song, it's now stuck in my head for 3 days.
exactly. So why the hell? You know what? I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know.
You know what? I'm just saying it's a good thing they put 3 minutes between the last song and that song. So
That's
I have enough
That's
time
crazy.
to turn off my fucking iPod.
no.
That's crazy, bro.
That's
What was the
ridiculous.
last one? It was album, movie, and what?
Person.
Person?
Mm-hmm.
Can it be a dog?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bug, duh.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. So as I said, that's all the questions you have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Listen to my new record, November 15th. Be okay. And follow me on the damn socials, all of them. It's just Letdown. Stop fucking around. Do it.
Yeah. Stop fucking around. Follow Letdown. Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, thank you for listening. It's been Letdown, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.